civilization often suffers from an excess of what is considered good. Language, ideas, and symbols shape our understanding of the world, including systems like money. However, too much of a good thing can lead to confusion between symbols and their representation. We mistake the map for the territory, exemplified by the contrast between political globe maps and photographs of the earth. Under the influence of thought and language, we strive to straighten out the complexities of life, drawing rigid lines where there are natural wiggles. This confusion can have disastrous consequences, disconnecting us from the essence of existence. Let us be aware of this trap, appreciating symbols without losing touch with the organic flow of life. By embracing the wiggles and uncertainties, we find liberation and profound meaning in our human experience. In our civilization, we often overlook the interconnectedness of all things. We mistakenly divide and separate, failing to realize that there are no true divisions or individual entities. We cannot confine the atmosphere to privileged or non-privileged sections, nor can we divide the water or even the land itself. The very earth we stand on reveals its fluid nature, disregarding our attempts to claim ownership. This issue stems from our desire to control and manipulate our surroundings. We eradicate mosquitoes without considering the far-reaching consequences of our action. We hold a flawed belief in the separation between humanity and nature, when in reality, we are intricately woven into the fabric of the external world. Our skin is not a barrier, but rather a permeable interface through which we interact with the environment. The outside and inside, the front and back, are inseparable. To exist within an exclusive group necessitates the existence of an excluded group. Gratitude should be extended to the external world for allowing us the privilege of being part of the whole. Our language and logic patterns often fail to recognize this inherent interconnectedness. As a result, we face the imminent danger of losing touch with reality and attempting to exist without acknowledging our connection to the external world. This perilous misunderstanding has led us to the brink of potential destruction, threatening all forms of life on this planet. However, my intention is not to impart doom or preach despair. It may even be considered a favorable outcome to cleanse the planet of life, transforming it into a pristine, uninhabited, celestial body. Perhaps stars themselves arise from a similar process, evolving from cosmic debris. Before deciding the fate of our world, let us pause and enter into true silence, an inner stillness that surpasses words and thoughts. Through this profound silence, we can directly experience reality as it is, unclouded by concepts and illusions. Material and spiritual theories of the world are mere constructs, products of language and thought. Reality cannot be confined to ideas. It transcends concepts and definitions. By aligning ourselves with reality, we expose and dissolve countless illusions that bind us. Let us examine some of these illusions. Money, for instance, serves as a useful tool for measurement and exchange. Yet we often prioritize it over genuine wealth and human connection. We mistakenly identify ourselves solely with our personalities or egos, overlooking the vastness of our true selves as living organisms. Time also deceives us, as we perpetually focus on the past and future, neglecting the only true time, the present moment. In our misguided attempts to assign blame and evade responsibility, we fail to recognize our interdependence. We pass the burden on to others, denying our own agency. It is time to break free from these illusions and embrace the present, for it is the only reality we have. In our journey, we often pass the burden to others without realizing that the present shapes the past, just as the wake of a ship flows from its prow. The wake does not steer the ship any more than the tail wags the dog. Yet we find comfort in excuses. My mother faced turmoil while carrying me in her womb. They failed to raise me properly. And then they confront their mother, asking, "How could you have been so irresponsible with your children?" And she responds, "Well, it was my parents who did not raise me right, you know." Thus the cycle of passing the buck continues. But let me reveal the truth. It all commences here. This is where creation unfolds. And deep down, you are all divine beings in disguise. Jesus discovered this profound truth, and they crucified him for uttering it. The Jewish people perceived God as the cosmic ruler, the ultimate authority, modeled after Pharaoh and Cyrus of Persia. Cyrus held the title of King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Curious how this signifies Cyrus, have mercy on us. However, you need not confine your perception of God to this image. When modern liberal Protestant theologians proclaim that God is dead, they do not mean it in a literal sense. They refer to the demise of a specific representation of God, an outdated notion. Ultimately, it was an idol. When it is said, "Thou shalt not make to thyself any graven image," it goes beyond physical depictions of wood and stone, encompassing primarily the images created by our imagination, the conceptual construct. Yet, those concepts are flawed. However, this does not imply the death of God or that life is merely a passage from birth to death. It is far more enigmatic than that, exceedingly more wondrous. But you see, reality transcends our comprehension. We could say that God is synonymous with reality itself. So across the globe, particularly in Asia, there exists a sacred practice known as meditation, a discipline aimed at connecting with the essence of reality. However, the English word meditation fails to capture its true meaning. When we speak of someone meditating, we often associate it with deep contemplation. Yet, when asked what they meditate on, those immersed in this spiritual tradition appear puzzled. For them, meditation is not focused on any specific object of thought. It is simply a state of being. In Sanskrit, it is called dhyana. In Chinese, it is known as Chan, and in Japanese, it is referred to as Zen. Essentially, it is the art of momentarily ceasing the incessant chatter of the mind. This does not imply that thinking is inherently negative, but rather there are moments when one must transcend thought. Once you grasp the essence of this practice, you can even engage in it while your mind continues its intellectual pursuits. Hence, one can be a scholar and still embody the spirit of meditation. This perspective does not reject intellectual endeavors. I imagine that many of you here are either currently attending college or have received a higher education. In the realm of intellect, meditation forms the foundation of a rich scholarly life. However, I find myself ensnared in a linguistic paradox when discussing this matter. You see, it seems as though I am presenting meditation as a beneficial practice, promising a brighter future and personal improvement. Yet as long as such motivations and aspirations persist, one has not truly entered the realm of meditation. At times we speak of meditation as if it were akin to rehearsing a piano piece, preparing for a grand performance. However, it is more akin to the practice of medicine, a profession one lives and breathes every day, integrating it seamlessly into one's way of life. This concept may appear puzzling to Westerners, particularly Americans who are deeply fixated on the future. We often dismiss things that lack a sense of future potential. It is far wiser to embrace the present moment fully, for without doing so, making plans becomes futile. Even if those plans come to fruition, you may find yourself mentally absent, preoccupied with something else. Thus, this practice of meditation stands apart from others, bearing a peculiar quality. It serves no specific purpose, but resembles the essence of music and dance. Why do we listen to music? Imagine a culture devoid of music. Would you consider it a culture of great refinement? Yet, why do we engage with music? Some may argue that they attend concerts to enhance their intellect. However, in doing so, they miss the essence of true listening. You see, music possesses a remarkable quality. It is a wondrous arrangement of sounds that carries no inherent meaning, while there is some music of lesser quality that attempts to convey specific messages, such as program music like Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture or certain compositions by Debussy like the Inglote Cathedral, which aim to evoke visual, imitate natural sounds. They are mere imitation. In the realm of great music, whether it be the compositions of Bach, Mozart, the mystic melodies of Hindu traditions, or the profound works of contemporary composers, its significance lies solely within itself. It transcends the limitations of destination or purpose. Otherwise, the swiftest orchestras would be deemed the finest. Thus, in the realm of music, we find our center. We enter the realm of the present moment, not merely a fleeting instant, but an expansive present. for in the absence of such expansiveness, the harmonious progression of notes would elude us. The melodies would dissolve as we would struggle to recall the preceding tones. Yet, in this realization, we are set free into the fabric of reality. It is said that angels in heavenly abodes wield harps, encircling the throne of the divine, and chanting that signifies hail to the Lord. It transcends literal meaning. When fully immersed in the rhythmic sway of an alleluia, it becomes an expression of pure, untethered ecstasy. In contemplating this, one should not dwell upon the meaning, for how can we fathom the essence of God? What purpose does God serve? Similarly, we can inquire, what meaning lies within a tree? What significance does a cloud possess? What does a fern signify? Mahdi's inquiry is not nonsensical. We have devised peculiar theories asserting that ferns exist solely to propagate themselves. Birds engage in intricate behaviors to lay eggs, ensuring the continuity of their species. Yet, this reductionist approach to life lacks profound wisdom. Things simply are. They hold no inherent meaning. Birds bear no meaning, nor do trees. Words, on the other hand, carry meaning as they point to realities beyond themselves. They act as signs. However, when we attach excessive significance to words, we resemble someone who climbs a signpost instead of following its direction. Therefore, if one were to exclaim, "My life lacks meaning," they would be identifying themselves solely with a word. This is our tendency. If I were to identify myself solely as Alan Watts, I would be fixating on a concept, a convoluted web of words, making a fundamental error. Thus, it is crucial to grasp that meditation surpasses mere practice or exercise. It is not a physical routine aimed at personal development. We engage in meditation not for its practical benefits, but simply because we resonate with it. We discover ourselves in the very core, the eternal present, where past and future dissolve and divisions forged by words crumble away. Can you pinpoint the divisions between my 5 fingers? Can you truly perceive the boundaries between them? It is impossible, for these distinctions are conceptual. Certainly, each finger can move independently, but only because it is intertwined with the body, and the body is intertwined with its environment. They cannot be separated. Just as bees and flowers share an inseparable bond. Where there are no flowers, there are no bees, and where there are no bees, there are no flowers. Though they may appear distinct, they are fundamentally one organism. The head and the feet may bear dissimilar appearances, yet they are integral aspects of one living entity. In truth, they're not parts. That term evokes mechanistic imagery. Rather, they are features intricately woven together.